Co-Chair of the Chemical Committee for the LAMP with Lisa Saylak, who you just heard speak. These are the contaminants of mutual concern. Many are probably already aware of them. I'm just going to kind of let the slide speak for itself. As others have mentioned, declines in basin emissions have taken place over the last 30 years, and mercury concentrations in fish have sort of leveled off at this point. As Lisa mentioned, we need to come up with innovative approaches to try to reduce mercury concentrations in fish, which is why we're looking at methylation within the watershed. In particular, we think there's some unique things that are occurring in the St. Louis River watershed, making it a source for mercury that's entering into fish in the river, the lower river, in addition to the legacy mercury sources that we know of in the lower estuary. We think that some things that are occurring in the upper watershed and the ditch peatlands may also be contributing to the mercury concentrations we see. So we're working with USGS, Mark Brigham, Mounds View, Fond du Lac, Nancy Schultz involved, Bruce Monson at MPCA, and also a couple other people from NRI and Minnesota DNR. And so we're in the planning process, and we should begin monitoring in August, and the monitoring will occur for the next year. Another thing that on the mercury news is that we can also expect to see some decrease in in-basin emissions with the statewide TMDL. The mines submitted their plans for their mercury reduction by 2025 to the MPCA, and they are now posted on the MPCA website if you want to read them. The reductions they have in their plans, I've just read through most of them, vary from an 80% reduction, and there is also a subset of 4 mines, or give or take, that are saying there won't be any reductions. So we're seeing kind of an array of reductions that they're projecting to comply with the TMDL. So they're up there publicly available for anyone else to read. Also, just wanted to go over PCBs and how they are also declining. We're seeing a lot of, this is the cumulative disposal in quantity that we've had on the Minnesota side, because we track our disposal rates, so it's gone up considerably, but PCBs are also just leveling off. So they are continuing though through IADN to decline, which is good news, and this is the result of a PCB inventory I did to complement Ontario's inventory. I contacted all the utilities within the Lake Superior Basin, and we have, this is conservatively high, but about 3,000 transformers that are on utility poles within the Lake Superior Basin that still would qualify as hazard waste. We had high participation. Only 3 utilities in the Upper Peninsula didn't participate. The last thing I wanted to go over that's kind of unique is some of our known PFAS sources within the Lake Superior Basin. They're spread around the lake on both sides. This is what the open water concentrations look like, relatively low, but we do have some fish results. These are from the 2015 fish fillet, so you can kind of see what they're looking like in lake trout. And the other thing I wanted to kind of mention is that we do have fish consumption advisories for PFAS in tributaries. There's not a lot of regulatory framework in place. There's no surface water standard to trigger remediation, so that's one of our things. We have active loading at these sites into the lake. PFAS doesn't break down, so we really should get out in front of this and try to stop the loading, because the impacts are still yet to be known entirely. As for the other CMCs, I'm encouraged to hear IADN is going to be taking on some new contaminants for permanent monitoring, and so that's good news. Also, hopefully we can see all the CMCs monitored in fish, whether it be whole fish or fillet, continuously, and potentially, as people have spoken about earlier, in the lower food web as well.